This is
it's not pretty far away from the radar.
April, sorry, May, the 18th, and look, 2019.
As we mentioned.
Multiple day severe weather outbreak, 60 million at risk for the next 3 days, 60 million people at risk for the next 3 days. This is Zion's All Broadcast. I've been saying these things that Matthew chapter 24,
the Little Rock area, storms blasting through
that in the last days,
just to the east of town.
I've been saying this from Zion's Wall, that tornado, tsunami, earthquakes, famine, pestilence, sinkholes
another one of these bow echoes in Texas
will increase.
With damaging winds.
I've been preaching from Zion's Wall. I've been speaking. I've been sharing the word of God. Today's Saturday, the 18th of May 2019. Look at the news.
More individualized supercells once again.
Severe outbreak on the way. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a makeup story. It's the truth. In the last days, these things shall increase. It's a witness. We're not making this up. Here's the news. Look at it.
Goodness gracious. They need some rest, and we know coming into the next few days, they're not going to get it. Well, the Weather Channel's Justin Michaels, he's live in Kansas City. Just, the storms rolled through a little earlier. Give us a sense of what it was like. What did you notice as those storms moved through the area?
Well, the clouds got really dark at the onset, of course, Alex, and then the rain began to come down in sheets, and then the thunder and lightning kicked in. When I talk about thunder and lightning, I'm talking about the kind of lightning that makes you jump, and the really deep rumbles of immediate thunder, meaning that lightning strike was very...
Zion's All Broadcast.
Check one of the lightning
want the world to know it's getting late and it's getting dark.
You can only imagine. It was loud,
and the coming of the Lord is at the door.
No pun intended. But I'll tell you what,
natural disaster shall increase. Nature, Mother Nature speaking out. The wickedness is getting into the face of God.
When we identify locations where we think they're about...
Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in the last days. We need to remember that the Bible, the Word of God, is true. The Word of God will never fail. The grass wither and the flowers fade, but the Word of God shall prevail. As we live from day to day, these things that the Bible speak about, prophecy will be fulfilled. Jesus said, let not your heart, in St. John's chapter 14 rather, verse 1 to 3, say, let not your heart be what? Trouble. Ye believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are what? Many mansions. Jesus said, if it wasn't so, I wouldn't have told you. If I go, I will come again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Evangelist F Baxter letting you know that signs of the times are everywhere, that the coming of the Lord is very near. Let us prepare to meet him. Watch the news, watch the signs, and you will know that the coming of the Lord is at the door.
I have a living hope in Jesus.
We have to trust in God.
Control. I have a living hope in Jesus, who the devil tried to control, but couldn't control him. I have a living hope in Jesus, who the grave could not control. I have a living hope in Jesus, the rock of ages, who they rock in some rock when he died after they took him off the grave. I have a living hope in Jesus, the rock of ages, who after 3 days started to rock. I have a living hope in Jesus, who rose from the grave with power and said, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. Ladies and gentlemen, today on Zion's Wall, the Evangelist Baxter, I want to tell you that God has brought me out. You can wave your hand, you can lift your hands and say, God has brought you out. I'm not ashamed to let somebody know that God has brought you out. And I want to let you know that if you know that God has brought you out, don't you let people know who brought you out. The Lord has brought us out. Ladies and gentlemen, share this message with someone. You know why? just as how this message just bless you, and you can testify that the Lord has brought you out. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you are not, if you know you need to be brought, bring.
Ladies and gentlemen, we need God to bring us out. We're living in a time when signs of the times are everywhere. It is serious, it's dangerous. Testify if you know the Lord has brought you out. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, large tornado near Farron, Nebraska. It is funny that every day these things are increasing, ladies and gentlemen. And from Zion's Wall, I just want to share the news to let you know that I spoke a reference to the Bible, and now I'm showing you what is currently actually going on right now. May 18, 2019, Zion's Wall.
Thunderstorm warning for the possibility of some hail. We're talking quarter size and also damaging wind gusts. We can see some downed trees out of that one. And again, areas to the south and east of Hagerstown also under that warning. That includes Frederick County, Maryland. Over into sections of Missouri, Arkansas, and Texas. That's where the big show is right now in terms of the severe warnings and the lightning. Man, it is putting on a show truly across a lot of the areas. So even outside of places where we have warnings, you can see we've got a ton of lightning. If you are hearing the thunder, inside is where you absolutely need to be. Still watching that tornado warning right around Tyler, Texas. So this is following along into the south of Interstate 20 here, right in between Dallas and Shreveport. Dr. Forbes watching this bow echo earlier could see a spin up here in Smith County, in addition to Tyler, Noonday, and New Chapel Hill under that warning. There's a look at our area of rotation. So this continues to move off towards the east-northeast. Again,
ladies and gentlemen, we are living in a dangerous time. It is a very dangerous thing to live without having hope and giving ourselves to Jesus. Because today you can be here, tomorrow is not promised.
To bring you some very, very strong wind gusts that will produce damage. We've seen
so I share this with you, what is going on, currently going on. And to go back to the Bible, what the Bible said, look at what the news said. 60 million people at risk for the next 3 days. Talking about Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 60 million people. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Zion's Wall Broadcast, keeping up with current event, letting you know that the Bible warns of these things to come. Tsunami, earthquake, volcano eruption, volcano that is dormant, sitting there for years, will start to wake up. Places that never used to get storm, ladies and gentlemen, will start to experience severe storm. Hailstone, like hail falling from severe weather, will increase. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you what I felt in my spirit. I have spoken about this. It's not like it's something strange that you may not know, but I find it's important to remind someone that these things will increase. And today I see the news saying severe storm in the central, multiple days severe weather outbreak that gonna affect 60 million people. Thunderstorm with hailstone, ladies and gentlemen, will increase and will start to cause more damages to properties and even threat to killing people with the hailstone that gonna come. These are things that gonna happen in these last days. Evangelist F Baxter and Zion's Wall just want to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, that the Bible spoke about these things, and I'm just trying to keep up with current event to let you know that the coming of the Lord is near. When we see these things, what should we do? The old song says, let us get right with God. Come on, do it now. Under the cross of Jesus, come on, lay our burdens down. God bless you. Share this message with someone, let them know that natural disaster will increase and is a sign. Today is a sign. May 20, May 18, May 18, 2019. Zion's Wall Broadcast giving you an update what's going on. God bless you.
48 hours out from the event, so possibility is looking really good, that we see strong and severe thunderstorms across parts of Oklahoma, across parts of Texas, and south central Kansas. The areas in the purple, that's where we think the risk is high. We think it's a very likely chance that we're looking at severe thunderstorms, hail, damaging winds, and perhaps those strong, damaging tornadoes that we sometimes see this time of year, and especially in this part of the world. We look at Monday's forecast and the why we're going to see the severe weather. Well, we've got our developing storm system again setting up across the Central Plains. Warm, moist air lifted along the dry line.
Zion's Wild Broadcast. Look at current events.
Mexico. That's tapped into that moisture. Winds out of the southeast at the surface, higher level winds out of the southwest. So we have that turning of winds with height. We also have a change of wind speed with height. So we're going to see wind shear, both directional and speed shear. Strong low-level, southerly low-level jets setting up as those mid-level winds turn southwesterly. That'll help those storms to create those rotating updrafts that could result in tornadoes. So here's the European model, and you can see as we get into the afternoon hours, that's when things really begin to crank up across parts of Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas, eventually working its way into Oklahoma City as we head into, say, the dinner time hours. Got to be prepared. Got to start thinking about now. Do I know where my safe spot is? Do the kids know where the safe spot is? Does somebody know whose responsibility it is to grab the dog, put a leash on him, and bring him to our safe spot? Make sure you're going over this now, because Monday really looks like it could be the most dangerous, severe day we've had this year. We've got more on the active storms coming up in 5 minutes, but I want to talk about the dangerous heat headed to parts of the south. That's going to get you talking in parts of the Carolinas and Georgia. Highs in the 90s for the next several days here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, all thanks to a dome of high pressure settled over the region in the early part of the week. That's going to keep things steamy and sultry. That dome really sets up, and that's actually going to block a lot of the storms. So people asking, well, are the storms headed to the Carolinas? No, because we're going to keep this area of high pressure that's just going to keep it hot and humid and murky over the area. Temps 5, 10, 15 degrees above average by late week, but through next Sunday, look at this, highs of 90 degrees plus for several days possible across the Carolinas, across Georgia, North Florida, Alabama.
This is Zion's Wild Broadcast with Evangelist F Baxter, letting you know that the Bible is fulfilling. The Bible is fulfilling dangerous outbreak of severe storms. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in the last days when strange things will happen. Strange weather pattern will come. Weather pattern will come like we have never seen them before. Ladies and gentlemen, Zion's Wild Broadcast is just letting you know that we have experienced some strange stuff, but these things shall increase like never before. Storms in different form, in dust storm, sunstorm, snowstorm, hailstorm, all type of different storm. Strange weather. People scary weather. Ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna have some weather that's gonna scare people. I just wanna inform everyone before these things happen that strange phenomenon will happen. Severe hailstorm will occur. Ladies and gentlemen, weather will just come like, ladies and gentlemen, out of the blue from nowhere. Severe weather will just occur just like that. People will be crying. Severe hailstorm will be destroying things, destroying properties and all type of stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Severe weather is coming. Storm damages. This little storm just come out of nowhere, catching people outside. You see where it catch them? Right by the beach. All they have any shelter from the hailstone.
have very fast winds. The velocities there at the radar location, it's not very far from the radar, 68 mile per hour, just above the ground. So sometimes those get pushed by the thunderstorm rain and the downdrafts right down to the ground with damaging winds. Same kind of thing coming right into Pine Bluff, Arkansas at the moment. And could be happening in all these storms in Texas, Bowie and Cass counties, down into the Mount Pleasant area, as well as storms continuing all the way down south of the Tyler tornado warned storm. So pretty active evening, Alex.
Yeah, it has been an active evening indeed, and that's why we're here with you. Get you through these storms that have brought flooding as well. You're looking at the scene on Friday in Shelby County, Ohio. We had cars trapped in the floodwaters there. We had streets turned into streams. Look how high that water was over some of these areas, and this is not a localized problem, we don't think, in Shelby County, Ohio. We think we could be dealing with more flooding issues in many communities over the coming days. In fact, rainfall still to come. When you look at a place like Kansas City, another 2 to 3 inches possible there. A place like Wichita, another 3 to 5 inches there. Des Moines, another 3 to 5 inches. Get up into parts of northeastern Kansas, maybe.
Ladies and gentlemen, share this message with someone. Let them know that in the last days,
half a foot of rain between now and
natural
Tuesday.
disasters
So
will
for 4 days,
increase.
some big time rainfall.
Remember, I said that in the past: volcano, tornado,
for some areas,
storms, hurricane, typhoon, sinkhole,
of Missouri. The heaviest rain right now
earthquakes,
focused
fire breakout,
southern parts
and
of the
out of
state
control.
Iowa. Through central,
Explosion
right
from different places, nature,
very heavy rain.
speaking
Luckily,
out,
this is moving,
dams
but with more
broken.
rounds of rain coming. That's why we're concerned about that possibility for more flash flooding. St. Louis, you're going to be getting to see the rain move in this evening, continuing at times.
Anyway, this is Science Wild Broadcast. Share this current event. This message was recorded on May 18, 2019.
Rain showers and storms push
Don't be alarmed when you see these things happen. Science Wild Broadcast with Evangelist F Baxter letting you know.
And we are still 2 weeks
Remember
away
that
from the
we got to look to Jesus.
That does not mean that things
The
remain
Bible said
calm
these
in the
things will
Atlantic
happen.
Basin until that. As Dr. Nab says, storms don't always play by our human rules, and just because we say the season starts June 1st, that's not always how it goes. We learned that big time last year. Tropical Storm Alberto, you remember this one? It brought heavy rain and strong winds to Miramar Beach, Florida, right on Memorial Day weekend. A lot of people were left really disappointed that their plans to just lay out and enjoy the sunshine on the beach did not come to fruition. Storm origins for the late part of May in the Atlantic. We look at areas off the southeast coast, also through parts of the Caribbean, and then, of course, for the eastern Pacific. You can see the area that we typically watch during this time of year, and falls in line pretty close to where we've got a new invest here in the eastern Pacific, but we've also got an area that we're watching into sections of the Atlantic, and this one could come into play for the island of Bermuda in the coming days. The area to watch, latest odds for this one, 40% chance of development over the next 5 days, and the area that we would watch would be surrounding Bermuda. So this is a place that's got to watch for possible effects that we get a named system, not out of the question. As we look at the European model, you'll see what I'm talking about. An area of spin shows up, especially into early in the week. By Tuesday, a pronounced area of spin there that eventually drifts up towards Bermuda. So again, not out of the question that we could be dealing with a named storm. If so, more likely than not.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Science Wild Broadcast. Share this message with someone, let them know. Lastly, current event will increase. We need to be sheltered under the mighty hand of God. God bless you. Take care. This is Evangelist F Baxter letting you know.